ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रष्टाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिनिति नामिने नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रष्टाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितमेन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देकं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगगन रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सगगन ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पदे गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वर परम कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम। हरे कृष्ण। By Lord Sri Krishna's causeless mercy, we are nicely studying in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge of the Absolute. So in Bhagavad Gita only we understand the source of our birth, the cause, why we are taking birth in this material world, and what is making us to take birth in this material world. It is mainly our desires. That is the main thing we need to understand. So our icha and dvesa, that's what we are going to study today also in this sloka. So we are in this material world because of our desires to gratify the senses, our desires to enjoy. Our desires to enjoy in this material world, that's the reason we are bound to this material world. Because this is a cycle. So this is a cycle which is happening, chakram. Evam pravartitam chakram nanuvartayati yaha. So there Krishna is saying chakram in a different sense. Because in this world, everything is one is coming after the other. Annat bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anna sambhavaga yajnat bhavati parjanyo yajnaga karma samudbhavaga karma brahmodbhavam viddhi brahma akshara samudbhavam tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yajne pratishthitam evam pravartitam chakram nanuvartayati yaga. So it is all annat bhavanti bhutani. So the living entities, they survive by eating food. They subsist on food. Annat bhavanti bhutani. Parjanyad anna sambhavaga. Whereas the food comes from rain. If there is no rain, then there is no food. We need water and light for the food. For the plants to make carbohydrates. For the plants to make sugar, we need water and light. So that's why Parjanyad anna sambhavagam. The rain, the water is very much needed. Without water, there is no food. So annat bhavanti bhutani parjanyad anna sambhavagam. Yajnat bhavati parjanyo. So but that rain comes from yajna. So we need to understand what is yajna. In the 4th chapter, we have studied at length about yajna. So yajnat bhavati parjanyo. So that yajna means yajnaga karma samudbhavagam. That yajna, it comes from our actions. That's what karma samudbhavagam. So when we are doing the activities, when we are doing our duty, when we are doing our karma, so that's what is known as karma. So karma means when we perform the activities, but if we are not attached to the results, if we are not affected by the results, so that means it is yajna. So that is what is called yajna. Yajna means we are not thinking that those results belong to us. When we do any activity, we will do very sincerely all the activities, but we should not be affected by the results of our activities. Because knowing very well totally there are 5 factors for any action to succeed. For any action to succeed, totally there are 5 factors. And in that 5 factors, we are just one factor. And even in that one factor also, we are not directly that factor. It's only indirectly. Because that doer. So that one factor is the doer. The doer means the performer. There is karta. The karta is the performer. So Krishna is very clearly saying in Bhagavad Gita, very clearly teaching us that we are not the doer. We are not doing anything. So that way, we are even not directly that factor, that one factor. And what are those factors, 5 factors? In the 18th chapter, Krishna is very clearly teaching us that Panchaitani Mahabaho Karanani Nibodame Sankhe Kritante Siddhaye Sarvakarmanam. So Sarvakarmanam. So for all our activities, Sarvakarmanam Siddhaye. Siddhaye means to achieve victory, for the success. For the success of all our activities, for the success of any activity, whatever we do, if that activity has to become a successful one, then totally there are 5 causes, 5 factors. Panchaitani Mahabaho Karanani Nibodami. So let me explain to you. So what are those 5 factors? That's what Krishna is telling to Arjuna. Adhishtanam tata karta karanam cha pratak vidam vividascha pratak seshtakha devam chaivatra panchamam. There is adhishtanam. Adhishtanam means the field of activities. Adhishtanam means in order to perform an activity, it has to be done in certain place only. We cannot do all the activities at all the places. So they need to first select the place. So it has to be, for example, if you are doing a surgery, if you are doing an operation, or if in this COVID-19 situations, if a person, in order to save a person, if that person has to get into a ventilator, so that cannot happen anywhere. It has to go to the ICU. So like that, here for any activity to succeed, so it has to be at certain place. And also the body, basically our body itself, we need to have this body. Without having this body means without having our karmendriyas. So they are all the adhishtanam, that place or the field of activities that includes the place where the action is happening, and also it includes our body, that means our working senses, karmendriyas. Karmendriyas means working senses, our legs, hands and everything, because with that only we can do the activity. So that's why this is adhishtanam. This is one factor. So if this factor, without that factor available, without that factor, so this activity cannot succeed. So if you want to do a surgery, one has to be in an operating room. Otherwise, it doesn't happen. It won't happen. So that's very important. So for example, a person who met with an accident, if immediately that person is, maybe a lot of blood loss, but if that person has to be in the hospital and the blood transfusion should happen as soon as possible for him to survive. If that is not happening, so then that person will die. So like that, this is just an example. Like each and every activity, we can actually find out the field of activities for every activity, each and every activity. If you're working on a computer, we are doing some programming, we are doing something. So that has to be there. So that place, we cannot do it everywhere. So so that is adhishtanam. Then tata karta. Karta is the performer, the doer. So we can say that we are the doer, we are the one who is performing karta. But in reality, in Bhagavad Gita, we understand very clearly that we are not the doer. All the activities are performed by the 3 modes of material nature. But as I said earlier, indirectly we are the doer, because the material modes of nature, they are not going to act randomly. So there are laws. According to the laws, the material modes of nature will act on us. So if we are attached to the results of activities, then we will be controlled by the mode of passion. The mode of, that is the rajoguna. The mode of passion will force us to act, to force us to do. Kamayesa, krodayesa, rajoguna samudbhavaga. So it is coming from the Rajoguna. So similarly, Sattva Guna and the Tamo Guna, these different modes of nature will act upon us depending upon our consciousness, depending upon the extent of our desire, how much we are attached. So all these things will decide that activity. So how we are going to perform that activity. So that's what it is known as the Karta. The Karta is the performer. So the place, that is the field of activities, has to be there for an action to happen, for an activity to happen. And then the Karta, the performer, has to be there. So, and that activity, in order to succeed, it has to be by a certain mode of nature, and all such things have to happen. So then the third factor is Karanam cha Pratak Vidam. Pratak Vidam means different kinds. Karanam means instruments. So different kinds of instruments. That's why Karanam cha Pratak Vidam. As an example, I mentioned about performing a surgery. So we need to have all the surgical instruments. Everything should be available. Surgical instruments and electricity power and anything, whatever we need, all the kinds of instruments, everything has to be available for the surgery. For example, if it's a heart transplantation, so heart transplant. So if you want to do that, so we need everything has to be there for to achieve success. All the instruments. That's why Karanam cha Pratak. If the instrument is not there, then nothing happens. For example, if we have not taken enough precautionary measures, if you don't have suddenly the power supply goes out and if generator is not there, if it's not working or something happens, so then that thing will come and they will get into failure. So that way for each and every action to happen success, to achieve success in each and every action, the various types of instruments needed for that particular action are needed. So that's what is very important. So we have already covered, already understood the 3 factors, totally out of 5 factors. So that is, one is the place and the field of activities, and the second is the Karta, the performer, that is the doer of the activities, and then Karanam cha Pratak Vidam and various kinds of instruments. Now suppose all these things are there, the performer is there and everyone is there. But again here, the modes of nature coming into play here. So if the performer is not doing anything, so if the performer is not putting any endeavors, so in the operation room, if the doctor simply says that I am not going to do anything, if he just sits idle, so then this will not happen. So one has to put endeavors. So there again the 3 modes of material nature, they come into play. So in the Karta, the performer, it is mainly the soul, the Atma who is there, and the Atma will be forced to act by the 3 modes of material nature. So there is Vividascha Pratak Chestakam. So different types of endeavors. So we need to put efforts. That's why efforts. Without putting efforts, nothing will happen. So even though all resources are there for us to succeed, so everything is available for us, but if we don't put any endeavors, for example, let us take this example of this coronavirus. If people, each and every individual, if they take care of these things very well, like every day we are counting, the number is increasing, and the different counties, different states, they come into red level and red alert and all these things. So here, if each and every individual puts endeavors of doing all these safety precautionary measures, like wearing masks, or keeping the social distancing and all such things, so then this can be stopped. This will be a very big success story if everyone follows, if everyone puts that effort. So then this will not spread at all. This will stop immediately. So this is an example. So that way everyone has to put efforts. So that's why these players, there's so many, for a certain activity there is only one player doing. For certain activities there are many players. For example, this particular example I said about this coronavirus, each and every citizen, each and every individual is a player here. So everybody has to play their roles. But if you don't put that efforts, so Vividascha Pratak Cheshakam, so then it is not going to succeed. Then ultimately, the 5th factor is a very important factor, that is Devam Chaivatra Panchamam. So Devam, Krishna has to be there, God has to be there. Krishna is very clearly in Bhagavad Gita claiming very, very clearly, Krishna is saying that I am the supreme God, I am the supreme personality. So Purushottamam. So Krishna is the Purushottamam. So Yomam evam asammodo jnanati purushottamam. So anyone who understands without any doubt that I am the Supreme Personality of God. So then they are the knower of everything. So the Devam, so Krishna, a God, has a role here to play in each and every activity. So finally, if all these four factors are there, but if God is not on our side, if Krishna is not on our side, so in other words, we should put it in a different way. If all these factors are there, if we are not on Krishna's side, that is the main thing. If we are not on God's side, so then it is definitely going to be a failure. It is not going to, we will not achieve any success. So that's why we have to be on the side of God. So very nice, great example is this Mahabharata war. This entire Bhagavad Gita we are studying because it was a part of the Mahabharata, that epic Mahabharata. So there, Duryodhana thought, we are going to win. Duryodhana thought, he told his teacher, Dronacharya, in the first chapter, sloka number 10, he told his teacher that aparyaptam tadasmakam balam bhishma abhirakshitam paryaptum nidam yetesham balam bhima abhirakshitam. So he told his teacher that our army has unlimited strength. Aparyaptam balam. Aparyaptam balam means unlimited strength and very well protected by Bhishma. Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam Bhishma abhirakshitam. Bhishma is there with us. He is going to take care of. Bhishma is there. That's what Duryodhana thought. Bhishma abhirakshitam. Paryaptum idam ethesham balam Bhima abhirakshitam. Whereas the Pandavas' army, our enemy's army, they have only limited strength. Paryaptum balam. Paryaptum balam means only limited strength. And that is protected only by Bhima, who is not that experienced like Bhishma. So we will be able to win. So that was his wrong calculation. But there, Devam, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, was on the other side, was on the side of Pandavas. So Krishna says to Arjuna, when Arjuna told Krishna that this many times I quoted these slokas very often, but it's very much relevant. So Krishna told, Arjuna told Krishna that how can I kill Bhishma? How can I kill Drona? How can I counterattack them with arrows? They are worthy of my worship. I am not going to kill them. I can't kill them. That's what Arjuna told Krishna. But Krishna told Arjuna, who said that you are going to kill them? You are going to only just shoot the arrows. You are not the doer. You are not the killer. You are not going to kill them. They are already killed by my arrangement. I have already killing them. I am killing them. You are not killing them. Bhishmam cha, Dronam cha, Jayadratam cha, Karnam tatha jnanapi yoda viran, Maya khatam stvam jahima vyattista, Yuddhista chetasi rane sapatnan. So Bhishma, Drona, Jayadratha, Karna, and all other heroes, they are all killed by me. Maya khatam. Tvam jahima vyatista. You don't get disturbed. Why are you getting disturbed? Tvam jahima vyatista. You simply just shoot arrows. Yuddhasva chetasi rane sapatnan. You just fight for the sake of fighting. You are not doing anything. That's what Krishna is telling us. So that way we should never think that I am the doer, everything is happening because of me, all such things. If Krishna is there, and if Krishna's approval, Krishna's willingness is there, our will and Krishna's will should be same for any action to succeed. So we have free will. Krishna cannot influence our date. Krishna cannot change our free will. So we have to exercise our free will. But if our free will coincides, is the same, our free will is the same as God's free will, God's will, then that action is going to be a successful one. It's going to be successful. If our free will is against God's will, then it is going to be a failure. That's why in the last chapter, in the last sloka, in this 18th chapter, 78th sloka, Sanjaya told Dhritarashtra that Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Pato Danudara, Tatra Sri Vijayo Bhuti Dhruva Nitirmatir Mama. So wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, if both of them are there, then definitely there is extraordinary opulence, victory, morality, everything. So that's what he's telling. So that way, God is the fifth factor. Devam Chaivatra Panchama. So if all these factors come together, then only each and every action will succeed. So that way, that's why Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita that Ma karma pala hetu. So you don't think that you are the cause for the results of the activities. So that way, we need to understand very well in every action, these five factors have to come together to succeed. So we are just only one factor, and we have to just depend on all these five factors, and all other things are arranged by Krishna. If that has to succeed, then Krishna will provide the required instruments and everything. But we have to put endeavors. So that's what is very, very important. So here, for example, this studying Bhagavad Gita, it's an action. Everything is an action. Whatever we do, it's an action. I'm talking, I'm giving the lecture, it's an action. And you are all listening, and that's an action. So every action has got reaction also. It will have results. It will have effect. So by giving this lecture more and more, my understanding on Bhagavad Gita and my service to Krishna is increasing more and more. And my connection with Krishna is also increasing more and more. And same thing for all of you who are listening. So we are also getting this knowledge more and more. And with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we understand everything very clearly. So we are going to achieve success. What is that success? Definitely at some point of time, we are going to control our mind. Our mind will become our best friend. So that is the success. So that's what we need. We don't need anything else in this world. We need our mind we need to make our mind as our best friend. Because if our mind is our enemy, then we are done. So Bandhuratma Atmanastasya Yenatmaiva Atmanajitaga Anatmanastu Satrutve Varthetatmaiva Satruvat. So Bandhu, Satru. So Bandhuratmat, Atmanastaiva. So if we control our mind will become our best friend. Anatmanastu, Satrutve. If we don't control our mind will be our Satru, enemy. So that way, the effect, the success, our success story of studying Bhagavad Gita will be that our mind will become our best friend, because we know how to control our mind with this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So now in the 7th chapter, we are making very good progress, and each and every shloka is very nice. Krishna is giving us so much of knowledge about himself. We cannot know about the Supreme God without himself telling about himself. There is no other way. We can just guess it. The guesswork or theories, we cannot come up with any kind of theories about that God. This modern science and technology, they cannot even prove the soul. Many things here, even electrons, atoms, protons, we are not seen, but we believe in them because we are able to, with that kind of theories, we are able to achieve success. Just the flow of electrons is the current. We understand that the theory, and we are able to experiment it, and we are now able to do so many things just because of that knowledge, that principles, understanding that. So similarly, we need to understand that we are not the body, we are the soul. And by getting this knowledge, simply by understanding that we are the soul, whatever we do, we are going to achieve success, because we are going to liberate ourselves from this material bondage. So that can happen only if you understand that we are the soul, we are not the body. If you don't even have that understanding, then how are we going to free ourselves? How are we going to liberate ourselves from this material bondage? That's why this Bhagavad Gita knowledge is very, very important. So for our success story, now we are roughly around 20 devotees are studying. So a few months ago, we were only about 10 devotees. Before that, even less. So success, this is really becoming a big success, because Krishna is there on our side. And I'm sure we are going to grow. Our team is going to grow much bigger, and we are going to study Bhagavad Gita as a team of many, many devotees. So that will become a success. So here Krishna is saying in the 7th chapter we are studying. Yesterday we studied in the sloka, Krishna is now telling about himself. He's saying that Krishna is saying that he's not visible to everyone. Nobody can see him. Nagam prakasa sarvasya yogamaya samavritaka mudoyam nabijanati yogomam ajam avyayam. So nobody can understand. So parambhavam ajananto mamavyayam anuttamam. So parambhavam ajananto mamavyayam anuttamam. So Krishna's superior nature is not that easy to understand. Only he has to tell us. So that's what he is telling us. He is teaching us. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is giving us the knowledge about ourselves and about himself. So then in this sloka, what we studied yesterday, Vedaham samatithani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu veda na kaschana. So I know the past. Vedaham samatithani, being the supreme God, he knows everything. There is nothing can happen without his knowledge. He has got the consciousness, conscious of this entire, he is conscious of this entire universe. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murti. So this entire world is pervaded by me in my unmanifested form. Matsani sarva bhutani nachakam tesu avasthita. Everything is inside me, but I am not in them. So that's what Krishna is teaching us. Krishna is saying. So that way, in our body, we are conscious of our body. We know what's happening in our body, in our leg or hand or anywhere, what happens with pains, if it hurts, or if there is something, anything we are able to feel, we are conscious. So similarly, Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so he has the conscious of this entire universe, consciousness. So that's why Krishna is saying that I know the past, I know the present, I know the future. Vedagam samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu veda na kaschana, but no one knows me. Mam tu veda na kaschana. We can know about Krishna, Bhagavad Gita. Only we can know about ourselves, the soul, from Bhagavad Gita. Nowhere else we will know. So this concept, this understanding, this scientific understanding is very, very clear when we study this Bhagavad Gita. Now, today another important sloka we are going to study, this sloka number 27. What is going to happen at the time of birth, at the time of we are taking birth in this birth? It's a very important sloka. Krishna is teaching us very nicely. Ichadvesa samuttena dvandva mohena bharata sarvabhutani sammoham sajjayanti parantapa. Icha, dvesha. So desires and hate. So icha and dvesa. So icha dvesa samuttenam dvandva mohena bharata. So the desire and hate. So there is raga and dvesha. In one sloka in the second chapter, Krishna taught us very clearly that raga and dvesa. Raga dvesa vimuktanam visayan indriyaisharan atmavasaihi videyatma prasadam adhigachati. So one should get liberation from the desire and hate, raga and dvesa. So attachment and aversion. We can also put it as attachment and aversion, raga and dvesa. Here icha and dvesa. So this is desire and hate. So attachment and aversion. So that's why this icha dvesa samuttena, it comes. This desires and attachment, this desire, attachment and hate, everything comes at the time of birth. Samuttena, because of what? Dvandva mohena bharata. Because of the duality in this material world. Because in this material world, everything has got two sides. Not only the coin has two sides. We say the coin, two sides, head and tail. Everything. Happiness and distress. Heat and cold. Victory and defeat. Profit and loss. So like that, everything you take, positive, negative. Everything has got two sides. That is called Dvandva. Dvandva moha. So we are under illusion. We are bewildered. We are bewildered by these dualities in this material world. So we have to take one side because there are two sides. But the entire goal of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is teaching us that one should not be disturbed by this duality in this material world. We should not be bothered. We should not be disturbed. That we should elevate ourselves to that platform. That is what is known as yoga. The real meaning of yoga is siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. So one who is equal in both success and failure. Again, the duality, success and failure, siddhi and asiddhi. Siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. That equanimity is called yoga. So this Bhagavad Gita knowledge will help us to realize that we are the soul, we are not the body, and Krishna is the super soul. And when we develop that relationship with Krishna, then if we give up attachment to the results in this material world, Tyaktva karmapala sangam. So if we give up all our attachment to the results in this material world, So then, by Krishna's mercy, we will be able to free ourselves from this dualities in this material world. Dvandva mohen. So this dvandva moham. That's why ichchadvesa samuttena dvandva mohena bharata sarva bhutani sammoham. So all the living entities, that their bewilderment, that illusion, sarjayanti parantapa. Sarjayanti means at the time of birth. When we take birth in this material world, when this world is created, when this material world is created, that's what is sarjayanti. At that point of time, because of hate and desire and hate, attachment and aversion, so because of that, we are deluded, we are under illusion, we are bewildered by these dualities in this material world. So that's why we get attached, that's why we like someone and we hate someone. But a devotee of Krishna, a person who, a jnani who has the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, for him, he should be. Krishna is saying that samoham sarva bhutesu. I am equal. Samo means equal. Samoham sarva bhutesu. Name dvesyo asti na priyaga. Name dvesyo asti na priyam. So I desire no one and I hate no one. And I hate no one, nor am I partial to anyone. That's what Krishna is saying. I hate no one, nor am I partial to anyone. So Krishna is equal to everyone. So name dvesyo asti na priyaga. But ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mayi te tesu chapyam. But anyone worships me with full devotion, so he is in me, I am in him. That's what Krishna is saying. Krishna is equal to everyone. But we need to now keep Krishna on our side. So then we are going to win. Each and every activity will become a success story if Krishna is on our side. So for that, we need the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So we are getting this knowledge. So we are making great progress. So today we finished sloka number 27 in the 7th chapter. So I went a little bit over today, but yeah, I didn't realize the time. But still, we got great knowledge actually. Hare Krishna. I will stop now. We'll discuss if any questions are there.